What's up guys, I'm Phoenix Master 1 and welcome back for some more Fire Emblem Heroes, and today I'm going to be taking a look at Reginn, the latest free-to-play unit that we have got from Book 5. Not only I'm going to be giving you guys unit analysis and review on her, as well as builds, but I'm also going to be showcasing some practical ways and proof of concepts of how you could use her in actual battles with various kinds of playstyles and how good she is. And if you're new here, then please consider subscribing because I cover a lot of fake content from build videos, reviews, free-to-play guides, summoning sessions, Aether Raids videos, a lot of stuff. So with that said, I hope you guys do enjoy this review and showcase, and let us begin.
This is it for you!
Reginn is a free-to-play Astra Mythic that we have got from Book 5, and she's a Sword Cavalier and also an Astra Mythic who gives attack boost on the allies who have got the Astra Blessing. And she's actually a very powerful and solid unit because of her stat spread and also her weapon, Aether. So Aether gives you +3 speed, and it also has the Canto effect built into it. Now Canto effect, you'll see this in the action later on in the video, so any kind of doubts you have with this weapon will be gone for sure. So Canto basically allows you to take another action after you have attacked, used an assist skill, or you have broken some kind of structure like a wall or an Aether Raid structure, and she can move 3 spaces after that. So this gives her immense amount of mobility, and the fact that this can be worked out with Galeforce, and basically the whole paragraph in the brackets which they have just says that if you have Galeforce along with Canto, then Galeforce is going to be taking the precedence and then she's going to be triggering Canto. As I said, you'll be seeing that in action. So Aether also gives her +6 attack and speed during combat when she initiates, and also reduces damage from foes first hit by 30%. Which is really good because while she doesn't have very piss poor defense, she still, can make use of the damage reduction to fall into the desperation range or fall into the Wings of Mercy range for her allies. So there are a lot of utility which she could get out of the damage reduction, and cavalry units usually don't have access to damage reduction skills anyways, so this is a very powerful weapon indeed. And Canto and her mobility as a sword unit and the access to Galeforce is what makes her a very powerful and super solid free unit that we have got. Her stat spread is also really amazing. She has got base 40 speed with a speed super boon, which is absolutely amazing if you get lucky, and she also has pretty nice attack stat. Defense and resistance is indeed workable. The HP is a bit on the lower side, but this can actually work in your favor for falling into the range of many skills. She also has an exclusive special in Aether Shell, so at start of turn 1 of any map, she basically has this ready, which is really good and definitely gives you really nice burst damage output on your first combat, and it being a 3-turn special is also pretty nice after that. So it boosts your damage by 15, and it has got the adaptive damage, so it calculates the damage using the lower of foes defense or resistance, which is actually really amazing when she's going to be facing units who have got very high defense but low resistance. And there are definitely more units in the game who have got higher defense and lower resistance, so that can definitely help her in that regard. While the special is really good for the burst damage output and the fact that you can have it charged up at the start of the map, I'll still suggest that Galeforce is also a really good option, and later on you will see that in the showcase. Her other passive skills, Swiss Sparrow 3 and Lull Speed Defense, go really well with her player face playstyle, and Panic Smoke is a good option, but for the game mode that she's made for, which is Aether Raids offense, Panic Smoke isn't really all that good of an option because most of the good Aether Raids defense teams don't use any kind of visible buffs to begin with, because they know you can bring Panic Manners, you can bring Aversa, and now you can also bring Panic Smoke Reginn. So there are better options for this in Aether Raids, but for the general content, Panic Smoke can definitely be pretty nice. She's a very unique Astra Mythic as of making this video because she allows you to have an extra slot in your Aether Raids offense, which can be really great because you could run more dancers, you could run more support units, you could run more tanks. It just opens up so many options, and if you've been playing since April 2020, then you also have Altina as an Astra Mythic. So now free-to-play players have 2 Light Mythics and 2 Astra Mythics, which is really good for Aether Raid scoring. And whenever she's going to be a bonus unit in Aether Raids, it will give you the effect where even if one of your units dies in Aether Raids offense match, you will still not get any kind of lift reduce, which is really good. And that's why you should really not fodder Reginn, in my opinion. and especially if you follow my free-to-play guides, then I will be using her in pretty much every single map. So please do not fodder her for her skills. She is much more valuable than her skills in my personal opinion. Overall, Reginn is a very busted unit that we have got for free, and you will see what stuff she could do in the showcase later on, and there's really no other unit who can do stuff like that which she can pull off, which is just absolutely ridiculous. So she's a very fun unit in my opinion, solid free to play unit, and she's a very powerful option in general, and she's also a pretty nice Astra Mythic in my opinion. I still think that Plumeria is the best Astra Mythic hero because of the utility that she brings, but after Plumeria, Reginn for sure has that spot of being the next best Astra Mythic, and you know, Plumeria is not a free unit. Reginn is a free unit, so most people are going to be using Reginn more, and she's actually a really good unit as you'll see. For her builds, I'm going to be going over the builds first, and then I'm going to be showcasing them. So for a budget build, you could run the solo Sacred Seals. They have really good synergy with her insane mobility. She's usually not going to be near any kind of allies because of her ridiculous mobility, so that could always work. You could also run Heavy Blade and Galeforce. She actually does get +6 attack from her weapon, then from Sparrow, so she can have pretty nice attack stat even unmerged to meet the Heavy Blade check against many units. And you could also run Desperation with Aether Shell, so that also works out with double Sparrow. And now let's move on to the builds which you could run in Aether Raids. So in Aether Raids offense, Life and Death is an option if you want to have her soak Bright Shrine for your main carry unit. So you could also have her do that kind of role with Life and Death by increasing her visible stats. And you can also run Galeforce on her. As I said, Panic Smoke isn't the best option for Aether Raids offense. Attack Smoke is going to be much better, or something like Savage Blow. It can definitely give you much better utility when triggering Heavy Blade, and it can also help your other units who might face attacks after she retreats. You could also run Galeforce and hit and run. As you'll see, this is actually a very good hit and run strategy because it's really hard for defense teams to catch her because she can just move away so far with her hit and run, and Canto is just really ridiculous. So it's a very good cheap budget option for her slot B. Now for some premium options, you could run Fury 4, and this can allow her to be basically a Wings of Mercy anchor for her allies. In the Astra season, you will be facing Dumas and stuff like that. So Duma has a P-Vol, he will take some HP from you, and the recall damage can further help you be in the Wings of Mercy range for your allies. And because she's a mythic unit, she's not going to be getting extra HP unless she's a bonus unit, so that can definitely help her, you know, easily fall into the range of Wings of Mercy or Desperation. And you know, she could take some damage as well in the combat, and that can even make it easier for her to fall into that. Now, in my opinion, if you have access to IVs, then plus speed IV is by far the best one. She has super boon in that, and speed is so important for Galeforcing. Speed creep is a very scary thing in Fire Emblem Heroes right now. Who knows how much speed will increase in the future, so future-proofing your units is very important. So whenever you could get plus speed unit, especially on an offensive unit like this, you should go for that in my opinion. So speed IV all the way over the attack boon in my personal opinion. It's also a really good option for any kind of Galeforcer. So this, in my opinion, is the perfect build on her. Heavy Blade 4 and Quick and Pulse makes her have a 4-turn Galeforce, and then she could trigger that even against a ranged unit, which is really good. Pulse Smoke is basically going to be there to stop infantry pulse teams, so you could just go there, attack someone, get your kill, get Galeforce, Pulse Smoke the team, and then retreat. So that could definitely help your tanks a lot. So Pulse Smoke is a fantastic premium option for slot C for her. With the playstyle that she has got anyways, it's really good. And if you have like a +10 merge Reginn, or if you plan to do that, then, you know, again, the Heavy Blade 4, Quick and Pulse, Pulse Smoke is going to be the combo. And Lull attack speed could actually be really good, and she could get pretty bulky at +10 merge. So she could actually take on a couple of units after she is Galeforced, which is actually pretty easy. And especially if you have Pulse Smoke them, then it can definitely help her survive hits. And this review is definitely different than all of my other reviews because I am definitely really passionate about showing you guys how you could use Reginn in so many different ways with so many different playstyles. It's just really amazing what she could do. Reginn is absolutely amazing at sniping buildings than any other melee unit because of Canto that she has got from her weapon. and that is a really fantastic utility. For example, here as you can see, there's a max level catapult which can absolutely destroy my bolt tower, and then I'll have trouble facing this +10 duo from an Eliwood. So what I could do is turn 1, go ahead, smite her, and she could take out that catapult so that I can have my bolt tower saved up and she can return to safety. And this is why I think Galeforce is the better special for her for Aether Raids offense, because she could do like hit and run strats so well. So this is a pretty standard team with Ground Orders Mirabilis, double dancers, and some pretty strong units. So this team can catch hit and run if you don't retreat far away. But as you'll see, Reginn can actually retreat so far away that even double dancers along with Ground Orders support from Mirabilis cannot catch your team. And again, that's why I think Galeforce is the better special, because it allows you to combine it with Canto. So Brave Ike has got pretty high attack, but still she can trigger Heavy Blade. Then you break the obstacle, and that allows you to have Canto enabled. So as you saw right there, Galeforce will take the precedence over Canto. So you'll trigger Galeforce first, and then you'll trigger Canto. And this allows you to easily hit and run like that. So it's just really amazing what you could do with her on budget. Even on merge, she's able to meet Heavy Blade's checks pretty easily. And now she'll just gonna proceed to Galeforce the entire team. So in my opinion, Galeforce is a really good option. Sure, it will take feathers, but it can definitely help you so much, as you'll see. And now let's see how she functions with a Vantage strategy. She's not going to have a direct role like she had in the previous showcase, but here she's going to be helping us very crucially. So this is a pretty standard T layout, or as they call Abi Pasta layout. So here I have +4 Lyn as my opponent, +10 Eliwood, who's a rally trap, a pretty well placed Thrusier. So this team is very hard to tank because you've got Fire Sweep, Lyn, and +10 Eliwood, and this Panic Manner is so annoying because it's max level Panic Manner. It can absolutely panic my Soth, who's going to be fully buffed, and he will need to be fully buffed to take out this kind of high investment team. So as you saw, Panic Manner is just gone turn 1 with the help of Reginn. Now imagine if I had an opponent who had duo Alphonse or Kyria in place of Soth, who are just much bulky. So taking out Healing Tower is going to be helping you with the bold tower damage, and that can just help you take out the units. I didn't want to face this +10 Eliwood head on, and if I went to attack him, I would have got panicked, but because Reginn helped me take out the Panic Manner as well as the Healing Tower, I can easily Vantage Sweep from here on out. And I can also have a unit remaining for my collection of pots, which is really good. So this is a very standard layout. You have probably run into this layout a couple of times. It's really popular, honestly. And as you could see, she definitely helps with this as well. And now let's see how Reginn does along with a tank strategy. So Reginn can basically help you elevate some of the pressure from your main tank. This is a very obnoxious team with max investment, 2 +10 merge, Fire Sweep, ARD skills, Cavaliers with pass. So it's really hard for a single unit like Brave Ike, who's just +1 merge, to take all of them on, because they can easily just get through the back line and snipe one of her units, and that's it. And so, you know, Reginn can basically help elevate some pressure. So Brave Ike can definitely not face, you know, Byleth, Bernadetta, and all of them together. And sure, you saw 4 Fire Sweep units. You thought you could easily run Brave Ike, but the pressure will get more if you let him tank everything, and there's quite a bit of danger of getting sniped with your other weaker units who cannot really take the hit. And these are +10 units. They're very strong, very fast, and very annoying indeed. So here basically Reginn elevated some pressure in the form of taking out Bernadetta, who could have sniped a unit after she got danced by the Aerobatics Mirabilis, and here she could easily take out Byleth as well. So basically that's a way she could help with tank strategies. Cavlines, they're a menace for a lot of people in the Astra season, and they're pretty common. So here I have a pretty nicely invested Cavline as my opponent, and this is actually a ruse line incorporating defense res ruse Thrusier with a Ground Orders Mirabilis. So it is going to be a rally trap that Thrusier can do to inflict guard effect and then get danced, and this is a really dangerous type of Cavline. So for defeating these kind of Cavlines, you could use hit and run on your Reginn and Galeforce. and she can retreat to safety with her insane mobility. So that can be really helpful, and as you saw, she can return back. And I just have a +1 merged Brave Ike with null counter disrupt. Of course, the best ways to deal with the Cavline is with null counter disrupt tanks, Raven Tomes, cavalry effective damage, and dual tanking, all of those things. So here, Ike is just gonna take out Nana, and the job is pretty much done here. However, we still have some opponents to go. So here, Galeforce actually activates and helps you elevate some pressure. So, you know, there's really not many units and many team compositions which can retaliate back to this kind of pressure of Cavline turn 1 with a melee range unit like Reginn. So she's really unique in that. And she definitely helps you a lot with the Cavline matchup, especially if you have her as a core unit along with like a tank, which I am using Brave Ike, and Brave Ike is super common. Here's another example if you have more resources. So Bridal Fiorm is really good for making this very easy to isolate Mirabilis and Thracier, who are usually always in the same lane. And I really prefer using Micaiah over Brave Ike because most of the good Cavlines do incorporate stuff to take care of Brave Ikes. And Micaiah has always helped me beat Cavlines if you've seen my Aether Raids videos. So again, Reginn can definitely help you here, and on your Cavline counter team, Shove is much better than Smite because you don't want to smite into the row 3 traps basically. So you take out one of the Cavaliers, which elevates the pressure, and then you could tank one of the Cavaliers with someone like Micaiah. Any Micaiah works because she's got cavalry effective damage, and all of them have really amazing resistance. So here, you elevate the pressure by taking out 2 Cavaliers until turn 2, and then you could take the other ones out as well. Again, Galeforce is going to be helping you along with Canto, and you know, after she goes into the trap with hit and run, it is definitely going to sting, but she can gain the movement again when she Cantos. So I hope you saw the interaction between Canto and Galeforce and how Canto can function with her weapon, and how useful she can be in general in practical matches. These are the friend mock battles I'm showcasing from the friends who consistently hit tier 27 and just have very solid defense teams, which I like to practice on. Reginn just helps so much with different playstyles. I really hope you guys enjoyed this review, analysis, builds, and showcase of Reginn. Please be sure to share this video with a friend who's also very excited to use Reginn. I've worked really hard on this video, so all of the love is much appreciated. I want to thank all of my YouTube members for their constant support, and if you enjoyed, then please be sure to leave a like and a comment. Helps me tremendously, and be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell, because YouTube sub boxes make about as much sense as her being able to use missiles at range but still doesn't have distant counter in her kit. So that's it. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.